Fantasy Pro, better known as Non-Keeper Football League Flex Auction Noob Tier. Always start your per reception owners. I am BJ Beemer, and with us again for the last time this season is my idol, Cole Ossal. Cole, how you doing?
I'm good, BJ. Good to see you. It's a good day in the gym, so I'm ready to slap some butts. Good thing you're not here.
Slapping butts. Hey, I got enough slaps from Black Friday last week. It was crazy out there. Did you go out, Cole?
Black Eye Friday?
Yeah.
Yeah. I stayed at home. I watched those videos on YouTube. They're nuts.
It was nuts. It was crazy, but I had a great time, let me tell you. Now look here. It's the most important week of the season so far. Playoffs have started, Cole. What do we do? What's the advice now for these people?
Well, there's not a lot of things you could do other than picking up players that your opponents would want.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you want to make sure you have good players on your bench.
That is bad, Cole.
Well, yeah, here's an example. If your opponent, let's say they have Peyton Manning with, no backup,
Sure.
maybe pick up some quarterbacks that guy would need if Peyton goes down.
Wow.
Peyton's playing hurt. Hopefully you don't have to face him in the playoffs, but he can get hurt. He got hurt a couple years ago. He's not immortal. So you got to think that way so you get upper hand.
That is mean. That is conniving. Long-term thinking, people. This is why Cole is the best at what he does. That right there. Now, Cole, what are some free agent pickups we have this week? It's getting thin out there. Okay?
Really thin.
It's time for some table football. We're going to say some free agents, bat it back and forth, see if they are worth your roster spot. QB, Carson Palmer. Now, he's been playing well, but I'm looking at his schedule. Yeah. He has St. Louis, Tennessee, Seattle. Those are tough defenses. I'm saying don't pick them up.
I mean, if you just watch what the Seattle Seahawks did to the New Orleans Saints,
To Drew Brees.
I mean, those fans caused an earthquake, Stay away from Carson Palmer. But one quarterback I love, and I know you like this guy a lot too, Ryan Fitzpatrick. I mean, he just plays consistently. Yeah, he's having a couple too many turnovers here, here and there, But he's keeping his team in the game. They're playing well late in the stretch in the fourth quarter, which fantasy quarterbacks make up a lot of ground in that fourth quarter.
So they get that money points.
And he's been doing it for the last few weeks in relief of Locker.
Yes. Well, what about wide receiver?
Holmes. I mean, there's only one guy you can get is Holmes now for the Raiders.
Oh, yes, okay.
Right? I mean, he put on a show last week on Thanksgiving Day for the Cowboy fans. Number one wide receiver Streeter's getting a lot of double coverage. Denarius Moore's hurt. I mean, Holmes is 6'4" and fast.
Yeah. Why not? What about running back? One guy who's catching my eye, and he's catching everybody's eye, so he's going to be a big top get this week, is Donald Brown of the Colts.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, Trent Richardson's, he's not going to be putting up any yardage. We know that. Andrew Luck's been struggling. They're going to be handing it off more to Donald Brown. I think he's going to be a stud the next few weeks.
Yeah, he's running north and south. I watched Richardson last week. He just doesn't hit that line hard, even on a goal line carry. So I don't have to tell you. But I'm going to tell you one group of running backs to stay away from.
Sure.
Any Patriot running back not named Shane Vereen.
Wow.
I would even drop Ridley.
Wow.
None of those guys are getting at least 20 carries.
Maybe you would say you're going to fumble Ridley.
I would fumble him away. Yeah, I would. But none of those guys are going to get at least 20 carries a game. Yeah. And no, everyone's saying Bolden and Blunt and blah, 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 blah. Unless you have Vereen, drop him.
Just not consistent enough. But I agree with the Vereen thing, especially in your flex option. Well, what about tight ends?
Yeah, there's a couple names I've seen thrown out there a lot. One name I like a lot is Brendan Myers.
Yeah.
He's finally got that playbook down, something he didn't have at the beginning of the season. And he's making big plays. He's scoring touchdowns against the Cowboys because they don't want to touch him. So a guy like that, you got to love. Fast, athletic, good hands, and a brain.
What about Green with the Chargers?
Yeah, I know everyone's talking about him because he's put up a lot of big plays last few weeks, but the reality is he still plays behind Gates, and he's getting less targets than Woodhead and Allen.
Yeah.
I mean, next year in the redraft, think of him near around 8 or 9, whether or not Gates comes back, but not for the playoffs. He doesn't have that much upside. He's just a good pickup.
One might say Green is a little green.
No. See what you did there, BJ. I see what you did.
I learned from the best, Cole. Hey,
you're welcome.
Cole, thank you so much for blessing us with your presence again. This is the last time we're going to have you this season. This is our second to last episode, ladies and gentlemen. So we're going to send you off, Cole, with a big kiss and a hug from hashtag NFL Fantasy Pro. Thank you so much. We'll have you in next season. I guarantee it. Guys, our last episode is next week. Check us out. We're going to have all the hot tips for your playoff games. So you know where to go. Hashtag NFL Fantasy Pro. Same time, same channel. Bye-bye.